Today's top stories. Malacanang attributes the 6% inflation this November to President Duterte's empathy to public clamor over rising prices. The military reveals an alternate version of the lupang hinirang used by the NPA to brainwash minors. No Filipinos are reported affected by a recent gas attack in Aleppo, Syria. And UP and ADMU face off in Game 2 of the UAAP Men's Basketball Finals.
Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. Malacanang welcomes reports that inflation eased to 6% this November. This follows the government's efforts to stabilize the inflation rate by lowering prices of goods. More on this from Rom Dulfo.
Inflation in the country has eased to 6% in November this year from 6.7% in October. Economic managers say the November inflation is the lowest rate since the 5.7% rate in July this year. PSA says this was due to the slowdown in the movement of prices of food and non-alcoholic beverages, housing, water, electricity, fuel, and transport. For its part, Malacanang attributes the decline of inflation to President Rodrigo Duterte's decisive action when prices of basic commodities swelled the previous months. Presidential spokesman Salvador Panelo says the measures taken by the government include the streamlining of the importation of agricultural products as well as orders to stabilize the prices of agriculture and fishery products and maintain their sufficient supply in the markets. Panelo assured the government will continue to be vigilant and monitor the prices of basic goods and commodities to ensure that hunger incidents and food insecurity are eradicated. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
House Speaker Gloria Arroyo denies allegations that the House leadership is railroading the passage of the proposed federal constitution. Arroyo made the statement following the second reading approval of resolution of both houses 15 on Tuesday. The speaker says lawmakers voted on the resolution after 3 session days of plenary debates. She expects the draft federal charter to be put to a vote on third and final reading on Monday, December 10. Among the features of the RBH 15 is a presidential bicameral federal system of government, the establishment of federal states, the development of a two-party system, and the lifting of term limits for members of Congress. The Technical Education and Skills Development Authority, or TESDA, says 72 out of 100 graduates of technical vocational education and training programs and land jobs within 6 months. TESDA says more people are taking up tech-book courses are entering the labor force compared to previous years. This was brought by coordination with local government units to match the labor market with vacant jobs as well as regular job fairs through the Department of Labor and Employment. Last year, TESDA also launched the World Cafe of Opportunities, a one-stop shop which helps tech-book graduates to find jobs and other scholarships. As of September 2018, there are an estimated 1.1 million total tech-book graduates from TESDA. None of the 85 Filipinos who are still in Aleppo were affected by the reported toxic gas attack in Syria on November 24. The reported shelling with mortars allegedly containing chlorine gas was directed at neighborhoods in the war-torn Syrian city. Foreign Affairs Assistant Secretary Elmer Cato said about 100 persons were affected. The Philippine Embassy in Damascus reiterates its warning for members of the Filipino community to remain vigilant and to continuously monitor developments. Chargé d'Affaires Alex Lamadrid advises Filipinos to avoid the areas of Jamiat al-Zahra, Al-Khalid Ye, and Al-Nil Street in Aleppo, which had been targeted by rebels. Filipinos who may require assistance are advised to call the Philippine Embassy in Syria through its hotline. President Rodrigo Duterte urges the Commission on Audit, or COA, to prevent gridlocks in government projects. And lawmakers move for the creation of a space agency. More on these and other news around the metro from Janice Cabe.
President Rodrigo Duterte asks the Commission on Audit to avoid making decisions that cause gridlocks in government projects. He says the country needs to welcome more investments and projects. Meanwhile, presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo emphasized that there may be a need to change certain regulations that may restrict and scare away investments. In other news, Save the Children Philippines calls for wider access to education for school-age children with disabilities to build their confidence and develop full potential. The organization says access to schools for children with disabilities is critical to develop talents and ensure meaningful participation in the society. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has approved a measure seeking the creation of a Philippine Space Agency. The creation of the Philippine Space Agency will address all issues and activities related to space science and technology applications. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Still to come, the military reveals an alternate version of the lupang hinirang used by the NPA to brainwash minors. Boracay is set to hold a two-day fair for environment-friendly business solutions. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Ulat sa ginagawa ng presidente. November 21, Miyerkules. Isabela. Nakiramay si Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte sa pamilya ng mga sundalong nasawi sa inkwentro kontra Abu Sayyaf sa Patikul Sulu noong November 16, 2018. Pinarangalan niya ang 5 sundalo ng Order of Lapu-Lapu Rank of Kalasag at nakatanggap ng financial assistance sa mga naiwan nilang mahal sa buhay. Dinalo ng Pangulo ang mga sundalong nakainkwentro naman ng komunistang grupo sa Isabela. November 22, Huwebes. Tansa, Cavite. Pinasilihan ng Pangulo ang Cavite Gateway Terminal, ang pinakaunang container barge port sa Pilipinas na magbabawas sa bigat ng trapiko sa Maynila.
By allowing the transport of cargo by sea instead of by land, this project is expected to result to 140,000 fewer trucks trips per year. This will not only decongest our roads but also address the long queue of trucks in the Port of Manila.
Sa 35th founding anniversary ng Philippine Army Reserve Command, ay nanawagan sa Kongreso na ibalik ang Mandatory Reserve Officers Training Corps o ROTC. November 23, Biyernes, Malacanang. Nag-farewell call sa Pangulo ang mga ambassador mula Australia, Czech Republic at Malaysia. November 24, Sabado, Zamboanga City. Pinarangalan ng Pangulo ang 23 sundalong nasugatan sa laban kontra Abu Sayyaf sa Patikul Sulu. November 26, Lunes, Davao City. Pinangunahan ng Pangulo ang groundbreaking ceremony ng Davao City Bulk Water Supply Project, isang public-private partnership sa pagitan ng lokal na pamahalaan ng Davao at Apo Agua Infrastruktura Incorporation. November 27, Martes, Bohol. Pinasinayaan ni Pangulong Duterte ang Bohol Panglao International Airport.
This modern airport will serve local and international tourists who would like to experience the beauty of Panglao. It will also address the problem of our growing traffic congestion and accelerate economic activities in the region.
Ipinadama niya ang pasasalamat sa mga sundalo nang ipamahagi ang 365 housing units sa 302nd Brigade sa Camp Raha, Sikatuna. Hinarap niya rin ang mga sumukong rebeldeng miyembro ng milisya ng bayan na kasalukuyang ibinabalik ng lokal na gobyerno ng Bohol sa lipunan. November 28, Miyerkules, Lanao del Norte. Inilunsad ng Pangulo ang Pangil Bay Bridge Project, tulay na durugtong sa Misamis Occidental at Lanao del Norte. Misamis Occidental. Pinangunahan din niya ang groundbreaking ceremony ng Osamis Airport Modernization Project. Ako po si Secretary Martin Andanar at ito ang Duterte on Duty. Abangan sa susunod na linggo ang mga gagawin ng Pangulo.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines reveals the attempt by the New People's Army to brainwash minors into fighting the government. AFP Public Affairs Office Chief Noel De Toyato says the rebels were teaching minors an alternative version of the Philippine National Anthem. A minor who was once in a Salugpungan school reportedly said the rebel version of the Lupang Hinirang demonizes government soldiers and teaches children to fight the government. Documents on the bastardized anthem were discovered in a raid by military units in January 2014. De Toyato says this version is an insult to Filipinos and to the national heroes who fought for freedom. This reinforces the claim of PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde that minors in the Davao region are being taught the rebel national anthem, which former Bayan Muna representative Satur Ocampo has denied. The National Commission on Indigenous Peoples condemns the activities of Satur Ocampo and his companions, which includes the alleged trafficking of 14 Lumad minors. The NCIP also condemned Ocampo's group for disregarding the rights of the Ata Manobo of Talaingod, Davao del Norte, particularly their free and prior informed consent. The NCIP said they condemn activities of any group that takes advantage of the IPs to advance their own agenda. Ocampo's group claimed that they rescued the children from harassment following the closure of the Salagpungan Learning Center in Talaingod. Tribal leaders called for the closure of the concerned school because it teaches children to hate the government. A two-day eco fair will be held in Boracay to promote sustainable solutions to preserve the environment. Businesses and groups that promote sustainable solutions will gather for a two-day eco fair in Boracay. The eco fair on December 14 to 15 is expected to showcase environment-friendly products and services. The event will be held at the Tindahan ng Boracay in Barangay Manok-Manok. It features 19 exhibitors, including members of the Boracay Anti-Tribal Organization and the women's group Pinay Boracay. The event aims to prevent environmental technology, products, services, and solutions to make businesses eco-friendlier. It also features sustainability-oriented local food, demonstration, kids' activities, and recycling education, among others. COMELEC is looking into the petitions of 5 barangays in Zamboanga City to join the plebiscite on the new Bangsamoro region. The plebiscite on January 21st next year will determine which areas will be part of the new region. COMELEC is in the process of verifying the signatures in the petitions. However, only a few are reportedly coming to the office to have their signatures verified. Earlier, the chairpersons of barangays Busay, Landangua, and Tumalutab have denied knowledge on the petition and claimed that their signatures were falsified. The results of the verification will be submitted to the COMELEC Central Office for deliberation. The Ilocos Norte provincial government opens its doors to student employees, and a university in Davao gets funding for its research on renewable energy. More on these stories from the provinces from Benj Bondo.
In Ilocos Norte, the provincial government opened the special employment program for students for December. 300 slots are available to Ilocano youth aged 16 years to 30 years old. The program aims to provide qualified students and out-of-school youth an opportunity to earn money during vacation. In Iloilo City, the Police Regional Office will activate Oplan Ligtas Paskuhan on December 16 to ensure peace and order during the holiday season. Police assistance desks will be put in public areas such as malls, terminals, seaports, and churches. The Oplan Ligtas Paskuhan will remain active until January 6, 2019. In Davao City, DOST Region 11 granted 68.6 million pesos to Ateneo de Davao University for its research and development on a renewable energy project. The research center will pursue thematic questions on appropriate and sustainable energy. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Benj Bondo.
Up next, the Transportation Department gives special permits to buses in the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange. And UP and Ateneo face off in Game 2 of the UAAP Men's Basketball Finals. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders. The Department of Transportation granted special permits to buses going from the Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange or PITX to Plaza Loton in Manila and Ayala Avenue in Makati. The additional buses will serve areas which have high passenger demand. A memorandum circular by the LTFRB allows certain provincial buses to traverse through Metro Manila. The franchises of buses bound for Metro Manila from the following areas will be converted into city operations. Public utility buses beyond these areas, including those from Batangas and long-haul Cavite routes, and at the PITX. The president of Ukraine seeks to end its friendship and cooperation treaty with Russia. Ukrainian President Petro Poroshenko submitted to parliament a draft law on ending the treaty. Under the agreement, Kiev and Moscow pledged to respect each other's borders and to peacefully settle disputes. Relations between Kiev and Moscow, which have been deteriorating since early 2014, escalated last month. This as Russian forces seized 3 Ukrainian ships attempting to sail off to the Sea of Azov for allegedly violating the Russian border. In the wake of the tensions, Ukraine imposed martial law in 10 regions, mainly bordering Russia, for 30 days starting from last week. The UP Fighting Maroons went head-to-head with the Ateneo Blue Eagles during the much-anticipated Game 2 of the UAAP Battle of Katipunan this afternoon, a match that went down in history for the Diliman club after over 3 decades. Here is our report.
The UP Fighting Maroons ended their stint at the UAAP Men's Basketball Finals after losing to the Ateneo Blue Eagles in Game 2. Ateneo clobbered UP 99-81 to claim the UAAP Season 81 Men's Basketball title. While UP was determined to bring back the title to Diliman after over 3 decades, the Blue Eagles wasted no time in securing the championship. This is the 2nd straight championship and the 10th title for the Blue Eagles. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
Task Force Bangon Marawi took some time off to bring cheer to children in Marawi City through a puppet show. The puppet show is part of the government's intervention for children in crisis areas. More on this from Calvin Penaco.
Marawi City children sang and danced to festive music in a series of puppet shows conducted by the Information Management and Strategic Communication Support Group of Task Force Bangon Marawi. More than 600 children were awed by the puppet shows held at the Sarimanok Tent City and in Barangay Bito Buwadi Itoa Evacuation Center. Evacuation Camp Manager Engineer Ismael Ali thanked the task force and the Philippine Information Agency or PIA for organizing the shows and added that such intervention was important for these young children.
Nagpapasalamat ako sa nagbigay sa kasiyahan sa mga bata. Talagang nasiyahan sila.
He also called on some more groups to organize similar activities for the children since he had not seen other entertainment shows for children in the evacuation sites.
Kayo lang yata, kauna-una kong nakita na napunta dito. Mayroong napunta dito kaya lang halos laruan pero walang nag-guide ba. Bahala na yung mga bata na maglaro. Pero hindi niyo kagaya na talagang nakita ko, talagang masaya sila. Talagang maraming salamat sa naibigay niyo sa mga bata. Sana kahit paano kung minsan mag-ulit. Sa totoo lang, kung mayroon man pupunta dito ay talagang welcome sa amin. Ako, kung sakali mayroon man pupunta dito ng ganun, talagang we are inviting all of to come give enjoyment to the children. Kasi talagang masaya sila.
The agency's puppet theater program has been running for more than 2 decades now, going around the country to educate and entertain young audiences. In 2018 alone, the puppet team conducted 61 shows in several locations in Luzon, Metro Manila, and Mindanao. The shows in Marawi were focused on values formation and good manners. The event also aimed to deliver government services to internally displaced persons where they are currently situated. The local Civil Registry of Marawi City administered intake for applications for birth certificates, and its Rural Health Unit conducted free medical and dental checkups, providing free vitamins for young children. The shows were part of the psychosocial intervention activities of Kumpas Barangay Servicio Caravan, Organized by PIA, the group, composed of several government agencies including the local government unit of Marawi, DSWD, DOH, DTI, Philippine Army, and the Philippine National Police, was led by PIA Director General Harold Clavite. For the PNA Newsroom, Calvin Pinaco, Philippine Information Agency.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Let's take another look at today's top stories.
Malacanang attributes the 6% inflation this November to President Duterte's empathy to public clamor over rising prices. The military reveals an alternate version of the lupang hinirang used by the NPA to brainwash minors. No Filipinos are reported affected by a recent gas attack in Aleppo, Syria. And UP and ADMU face off in Game 2 of the UAAP Men's Basketball Finals.
Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And less than 3 weeks to go, 20 days more to go before Christmas. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.